The tale spans across ancient African kingdoms, from the rainforests of the Congo Basin to the savannahs of the Sahel. The story takes place hundreds of years ago, during a time when kings ruled over vast lands and wise elders held the secrets of the earth, sky, and spirit. He who beats the drum of truth will awaken the heart of the world. Long ago, in the valley where three rivers met and whispered secrets to the land, there lived a boy named Kintu. He was not born into royalty or riches. His mother died giving birth, and his father, a hunter, never returned from the hills of the Moon Mountains. The villagers of Ogbo-Mire pitied the child, but none took him in. He survived by sleeping under the old baobab tree at the edge of the market, where he polished shoes, carried firewood, and fetched water for a few coins or scraps of yam. But Kintu had something no one else did: a way with animals. Birds followed him, goats obeyed him, and even snakes slithered away from his feet. Old women said he had forest blood. Some feared him. Others whispered that he was touched by ancestral spirits. One evening, as the village prepared for the yam festival, the sky grew red. Not from sunset, but from a strange fire that danced high above the hills. It was not lightning, it was not the work of men. It pulsed like a heartbeat, then vanished. That night, the elders called a secret meeting. The baobab under which Kintu slept trembled. In his dreams, he heard a drum beat, faint, distant, but clear. Dum, 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 dum. The next morning, a shadow fell over the land. The rain stopped. The rivers dried to cracks, crops wilted, and children cried with thirst. "The land has been cursed," cried the villagers, and the elders said, "The fire in the sky was a warning." But it was Mama Isi, the old herbalist with eyes like ash and steps like wind, who said, "The drum has stopped beating for this land. Only the one born under fire and silence can make it speak again." Everyone turned and stared at Kintu. He was only 13. The next morning, the sun rose like a dried gourd, pale, cracked, and without warmth. No dew kissed the grass, no birds sang. The people of Ogbo-Mire woke to dust on their tongues and dread in their hearts. Kintu rose from beneath the baobab, the tree that had been his only parent. His stomach ached with hunger, but something deeper gnawed at him. A calling. The whisper of the drum still echoed faintly in his ears. Dum, 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 dum. Mama Essie found him by the edge of the dried riverbed. Her wrapper dragged behind her like a snake's tail, and her walking stick clicked on the stones like a spider weaving her web. "Child," she said, "the spirit spoke last night." Kintu didn't answer. He only looked at her, his face dry, his lips cracked. She held out a small gourd of bitter water mixed with herbs. He drank it slowly. Mama Essie placed her hand on his head. "The ancestors call you to the forest, not the forest of wood and beast, but the sacred forest, the one that whispers names. If your name is heard, you will return. If not," she looked away, "the earth will drink your bones." Kintu blinked. "Where is it?" She smiled, but not with her mouth, with her eyes. "It is the forest that no man can find unless he listens with his feet and walks with his heart." That afternoon, with a satchel made of old goat hide and a walking staff carved from baobab bark, Kintu set off. No one saw him go, except the birds, who flew silently overhead, and the village madmen, who grinned and muttered, "The drum goes walking, tap, tap on child's feet." He walked for 2 days. He crossed dry fields where yams once bloomed and through cracked riverbeds that once sang with frogs. At night, he slept beside termite mounds and spoke to the stars, asking them to guide him. On the 3rd day, he came to a grove where the air felt thicker. The trees here were taller, older. Their roots twisted like sleeping serpents, and the leaves whispered in tongues no wind had spoken before. Kintu stepped in. Immediately, the world changed. The sunlight dimmed. Not with clouds, but as though the trees themselves swallowed the light. The air smelled of honey and old things. And the forest whispered, "Kintu," his name, soft and stretched, like wind across a calabash. He stopped. "Who calls me?" No answer, only the whisper of leaves and the distant beat of a drum. Dum, 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 dum. He followed the sound. The deeper Kintu went, the more the forest played tricks. The path forked a dozen times, and each time he chose with his feet, not his eyes. He let his heartbeat guide him. At one fork, a monkey with silver fur dropped from a tree and laughed. Choose the left, child of dust, and you'll find food. Choose the right, and you'll find truth. Kintu bowed to the monkey. What if I choose the middle? There is no middle, said the monkey, grinning wide. Only what you bring with you. Kintu chose the right. That night he heard singing, not from birds but from the trees themselves. They sang songs of old kings and dead rivers, of lovers turned into stone, and drums carved from the hearts of lions. And still the drum called. On the fifth night, as Kintu lay under the roots of a fig tree, he felt eyes watching him. He did not move, only listened. A growl, low and deep, rolled through the forest. Then a pair of glowing amber eyes emerged from the dark. A leopard. But this was no ordinary beast. It was the size of a donkey with spots that shimmered like starlight, and its paws left no print. The creature stepped forward and spoke, not with a voice but into Kintu's mind. Why do you walk my forest, child of no clan? Kintu sat up. I seek the drum that will beat again for the land. The leopard's tail flicked. Many have sought, all have failed. They came with fear, with pride, or with greed. What do you bring? Kintu paused. I bring nothing. Only the hope that I'm enough. Silence. Then the leopard bowed its head. Then rise. Your first trial begins at Moon's Peak, and should you pass, the forest will give you its name. With that, it vanished. Kintu sat alone under the fig tree, heart pounding like a drum. Above him, the moon slowly climbed. In just a few hours, he would face his first trial, one that would determine if he was worthy to find the talking drum, and if he could break the curse that dried his homeland. He closed his eyes and whispered a prayer to the ancestors. The whispering leaves answered, and for the first time since his journey began, he smiled. The moon reached its peak. Above the sacred forest, the stars blinked as if afraid to watch what would happen below. Kintu stood barefoot in a clearing shaped like a circle, surrounded by 12 ancient trees. Their bark was black, their roots pulsed faintly as if they had blood, and their branches twisted together, forming a canopy that breathed. Suddenly the air shifted, the wind stopped, the crickets fell silent. Even the frogs buried in the roots paused their croaking. Then came a voice, not loud, not deep, but everywhere. To awaken the drum, you must first awaken yourself. A soft breeze swept through the clearing. Leaves swirled around Kintu's feet, forming patterns on the ground. A river, a bird, a hand, and a girl. Kintu blinked. The leaf girl shimmered, then stepped forward as flesh. She was real. She was barefoot, like him. Her skin was a rich earth brown, her eyes a deep green like forest moss after rain. Her hair was woven with feathers, and a vine curled lazily around her left arm like a bracelet. She looked at him with calm curiosity. You are early, she said. Kintu frowned. I didn't know I was expected. She smiled, a small, secret smile. Everyone who walks this forest is expected. Some arrive late, some never arrive. He watched her. Are you spirit or person? She tilted her head. Does it matter? The forest dimmed further. The 12 trees around them hummed, and roots rose gently from the ground to form a low altar between them. Upon it sat a clay bowl of clear water. The girl pointed. Your first trial is this. Look into the water. Speak the truth of what you see, not what you want to see, not what others told you to see, only truth. Kintu stepped forward. The forest held its breath. He leaned over the bowl and looked in. At first, he saw only his reflection, tired eyes, sunken cheeks, dust in his hair. But slowly the water shifted. Images appeared. His father spearing a boar in the rain, his mother singing as she stirred a pot, the baobab tree where he slept, villagers ignoring him, children laughing at him, nights spent listening to owls too hungry to dream. Then his face again. He whispered, I see a boy no one waited for. No one claimed. I see Loneliness, the girl nodded. And he took a breath. But I also see strength, not given but grown. I see kindness, the kind that has never been taught, and a need to belong, not to power, but to something greater than myself. The water turned golden. The girl touched the surface gently. The bowl cracked, not broken, but changed, and from it rose a soft sound. Dum, dum. The drum beat, faint, but real. You have passed, she said. They sat together afterward, beneath a giant fig tree with roots like the ribs of the earth. Kintu looked at her. What's your name? She plucked a leaf and let it dance in her fingers. I was born of the storm that broke the mountain. The leopards raised me. The trees fed me. I have had many names, but you may call me Nambi. He blinked. You live here? Alone? She shook her head. Never alone. The forest speaks. The birds bring gossip. The spirits tell stories. And now, you are here. Why help me? Nambi looked at him carefully. Because the drum called you, and I have been waiting for it to call someone for a very long time. Kintu frowned. You want the drum too? She smiled gently. I did, once, but it did not beat for me, so now I serve it. I help those it calls, pass their trials. She stood. And your next trial begins at dawn. Rest. Tomorrow the leopard spirit will judge your courage. That night, Kintu slept in a bed of soft moss beneath a shelter woven from leaves that shimmered faintly with silver light. Nambi sat by his side, humming a lullaby in a language older than memory. Before sleep took him, Kintu whispered, Do you ever wish to leave this place? Nambi answered slowly, The forest is my home, but sometimes I wonder if there is more. He closed his eyes, and in his dreams, he saw the sky split with fire again. But this time, it formed the shape of a drum, and from it came the sound of thunder and heartbeats.